If you watch parts 1 and 2 and improved delivery and your energy system, creatine is probably already working better. But there's another level that can take it even further. In part 1, we talked about delivery. In part 2, we talked about your cellular energy system. But there's a third piece that almost no one talks about. It's not just about getting energy in, it's about clearing waste out. Because if your body isn't clearing metabolic waste efficiently, everything slows down. Your brain, your muscles, your mitochondria. And even if you're taking creatine, even if it's getting into the cells, you still won't feel the full effect. Your brain actually has a cleaning system. It's called the glymphatic system. It moves fluid through the brain and clears out waste. And when that system slows down, you feel it as brain fog, fatigue, and poor energy. Now here's the part that most people don't realize. That system doesn't have a pump like your heart. It depends on movement, pressure, and your breathing. We now have imaging studies showing that deep breathing can increase fluid movement in the brain by over 100%, meaning your breathing directly affects how well your brain clears waste. And it's not just the brain. Your entire body has a similar system, the lymphatic system. It also has a central pump. So what moves it? It's movement, it's pressure changes, it's your diaphragm. When you breathe deeply, your diaphragm moves down. Pressure shifts inside your body, and it creates an internal pumping effect. This helps move fluid, waste, and supports sufficient nutrient exchange. Now I want to show you what breathing elevated levels of CO2 does. I'm using the CO2 inhaler, and if I put the mask on and start breathing CO2, right now I'm at 2%, which I'm pretty used to, so it's not that hard for me. But if I move it up to 5 or 6%, I'm going to start breathing deeper because CO2 is a stimulus to breathe. So when I do that, you only want to need to do it for 5 or 10 minutes. It's going to cause you to breathe deeper automatically, and it creates that diaphragmatic pump in the thoracic cavity. It's going to push blood. When you're exhaling, it's pushing blood towards the extremity. When you're inhaling, it's pulling blood towards your lungs and towards your heart. And when you're inhaling, it's pulling the venous blood and the lymphatic waste. So when you're doing that breathing, you're pushing blood to the tissues and to the cells, and when you're inhaling, you're removing more of the waste through the venous blood and also the lymphatic system. And sometimes it's called the Valsalva wave. So now you're not just bringing energy in, you're improving flow and helping your body clear waste more efficiently. And this is where it connects back to creatine. If waste isn't being cleared properly, your mitochondria slow down. Energy production drops. And once again, creatine has less to work with. So even if everything else is in place, you still won't feel the full effect. And this is the missing piece. Part 1 was delivery. Part 2 is energy production. And part 3 is recovery and clearance. And all 3 levels have to be working together. Something as simple as your breathing can completely change how your body functions. Not just oxygen, but CO2, flow, and internal movement. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about what you take in, it's about what you can deliver, what you can use, and what you can clear. If you haven't watched parts 1 and 2 yet, watch those first, because together this is what actually makes everything start working again. And if you want to learn about this in much more depth and learn a lot more, you can read my book, The Carbonated Body, which you can find on Amazon.